Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So in today's video we are going to build our custom browser with the help of Python and a Python library which is PyQt5 and PyQtWebEngine. So first of all, let's take a quick overview what we are going to build in this video. So this is my custom browser. You can see this browser is serving us through the PyQt5, and you can see this is our custom title is here. You can read here browser pipes and web code. This is our custom title bar, and this is our browser which have a one nav bar which have the functionality of minimize, maximize, and close as well also. So you can see there is one nav bar, and in nav bar we have some button which is back, forward, reload, home, and web code. So every button has its own functionality. For example, if I click on this reload button, it will be reload our browser. If I click on this web code button, it will be take us on to my YouTube channel. And so just wait, it totally work on your internet speed. So its speed is totally depend on your internet. So you can see my YouTube channel is open. If I click on this reload button, it will be reload this. Like if I hit reload, it will be automatically reload this page. And if you hit on this back button, it will be take us to the back screen like this. If I hit this back, it will be take us back, and if I hit on this forward button, it will be take us on the forward screen. And also if I hit on this home page, it will be take us to the home page. And also you can see when I click, the URL are changing dynamically. Like now I am on home page, then the URL will be www.google.com. So if I click on this web code, you can see in title bar, or you can say in address bar, our URL is also changed. So we are changing this URL dynamically. So in this video we are going to build this browser. You can use this browser for scrolling web, and you can add functionalities in it according to your own. So here we are using Google search engine. If you want to use some else search engine like DuckDuckGo or anything else, you can also use this. But in this video we are going to use pure Google search engine with some basic functionalities. So that's it. You can see, yeah, you can take this navbar onto the left right side. Like I drag it to the left. Now you can drag it on to the top. You can also drag it onto the right side. So these are the functionalities we also included. Like you can drag your URL navbar at the bottom. Now you can scroll the website, and if you want to search, you can come on here in bottom. You can search, like if I type, or if I search anything, like if I search web code and hit enter, still it's showing about blank, but it will be take us to this page. So the speed is fast, but at the time my internet is little bit slow. That's why it's taking some more time for it taking us on the page. So you don't need to worry about this, and it definitely it will be work. So you can also drag it on to the top. So that's it, and let's start the video. So before starting the video, there is one disclaimer. Please ignore my English. Alright, so I am into my editor. So first of all, we need to create our Python file. So you can simply go here and right click and click on this new file, and you can create your file by any name. So I am going to create a new file by the name of main.py. So our Python file is created. But if you don't like this traditional method for creating your Python file, you can even create your file through your terminal. So I'm going to use touch main.py. So it will automatically create our main.py file. So in this tutorial we are going to write code in this file. So first of all, I need to import some libraries. Alright, so our basic imports are done. After that, we need to set up our PyQt window. So for setting up our PyQt window, we need to set up an app. So I'm going to create a new variable. After that, we need to set up our application name. So you can set up any application name, as I'm going to set up here. For this I will use Q application dot set application name. So set application name, so you can pass any string here. So in my case I'm going to pass browser webhook. So this will be my our application name. After that we need to set up our window. For this I'm going to declare a variable by the name of window, and here we need to pass our main window, but still we did not create any window. So for now I am just simply going to pass here. So this is just my simple pass variable. After that, simple we need to execute our app. So for this I am going to use app.exec underscore this basically. So basically our application configuration is done. Now just we need to set up our window here, and for setting a window we need to create a class here for our window. So I'm going to create a main class by the name of main window. So the parameter it will be our Q main window, which we import here, Q main window. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it here. So this, and after that we need to indent it. So this is our, we need to pass this class here in our window section, because this is our main window. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here, and so I call my class here. So let's start writing our main code. First of all we need to init. We need to call our render method, which will be init. So I'm going to make def underscore underscore init, and in this we will pass self parameter, and after that here we are going to write our full code. So first of all we need to define our window, which will be our main window. So I need to call it here. So for calling it I will use super method. So first of all I am going to call super, and in super I'm going to pass main window, which will be like this, and after that I need to pass parameter obviously, which will be our self, and after that I'm just going to pass init. So dot underscore underscore init. So this is the our init is called. After that we need to pass our browser. So for passing the browser we need to first of all declare a variable by the name of browser, and after that we are going to use this PyQtWebEngine view. Basically we are not going to use this PyQtWebEngine. Instead of this I will prefer to use PyQtWebEngine view. So for using this PyQtWebEngine view we need to import from PyQt5 dot Qt web engine widgets, and import. So from here we are going to use import QWebEngine view. So basically we are going to use this QWebEngine view. So I import this. After that here we need to call our browser. So first of all we need to use obviously self parameter. After that I'm going to use self dot browser equal to, which will be our QWebEngine view. So this will be our browser, and remember that the search engine we are going to use in this will be our google.com. Like this is our custom browser, but the search engine we are going to use in this will be our Google. So that's why I will pass Google link http www.google.com. so the web engine we are search engine we are going to use will be Google, and the browser will be our own custom. So first of all I passed my web engine view. After that we need to set our browser URL. So for this I need to use the same step, self.browser.set URL. So here this is our set URL, and here I need to pass my URL. And for passing URL, you can see in suggestion it will be declare QURL. We need to use QURL, which I already import from PyQt5.qt core import QURL. So here I am going to use QURL, and in QURL I am going to pass a string, and in this string we will pass our browser URL. So in our case we want to use Google. So for using Google I am just going to pass http google google.com. So this is our browser. So after that we need to we need to set our central widget. So for setting our central widget I am simply going to use self.set central widget, and our set central widget will be same our browser. So for this I am going to just pass self.browser. So this is, and after that we want to maximize show. So for this I am going to use self.show maximize. So this will be also same. I just need to pass self.show maximized. So this is our basic setup for our browser. So the next thing, we need to design a navbar for our browser. Now we are going to design our navbar. So for setting up a navbar, we will use PyQtWebEngine. So I already import this PyQtWebEngine here. You can see upside here I will already import PyQtWebEngine. So for setting our navbar, we need to set PyQtWebEngine. So for this I am going to create a variable by the name of navbar equal to, which will be PyQtWebEngine, and after that I need to add my toolbar into our navbar. So for adding our toolbar, we will use add toolbar. So here I am going to create self.add toolbar, and our add toolbar will be our navbar variable, which we call here. So I am assuming that if you are watching this video, you must have basic grip. Not basic. You must have strong grip on Python. You must know about what are classes, what are objects, what are object inheritance, what is oops. You must have concept about all of these logic. So if you are watching this video, so now we set up our navbar. So after setting our navbar, we want to define a button, like which button we are going to use in our navbar. So in my case, in our navbar, we will use back button. After that we will use forward button. After that I will make a reload button, and after that I will make an home button. So overall there are 4 buttons: backward, front, forward, home, and reload. So we are going to create 4 buttons. So here we need to define all these buttons. So first of all I want to create a back button. So for this I am going to create back underscore button variable equal to, which will be our Q action. So for this I am going to use Q action, and in Q action first of all we pass the name of our button. So this is our back button. So in string I am also going to pass my button name, which will be back, and after that we need to pass self here. So this will be our back button. After that we need to trigger this button. So for triggering this button, and we need to add a callback here. So for adding this I am just going to use back button dot. So we need triggered. So here I will use triggered, triggered dot connect. So here I want to connect self dot browser dot back. So for this I am just simply going to use self dot browser dot back. So this will be our back button. Now we need to add the button, add our action. So for adding our action in our navbar, we will simply use navbar dot add action, and here we will simply pass our button, which we created by the name of this back button. So I'm just going to paste it here. So this is our back button is created successfully. After that we need to create all our button by using this same scenario, like the logic we are using for back, same logic we will use for creating our forward button, but in this case we will use self.browser.forward. So I'm just going to copy paste it. So just copy and paste it here, and after pasting, first of all I'm going to change my variable name which I create by the name of back button. I will replace it with forward button, and the button text will be also forward. After that, this variable I also need to change. So I'm just going to paste. First of all I will copy this and paste it here. After that, here instead of back we will pass self.browser.forward. So this will be our forward, and here I also pass my variable which will be same this, and here, and you can see this will be our forward button is also set up. Now we need to set up our reload button, and for setting up our reload button I am again going to copy the same code and paste it here. First of all I am going to change our variable name which will be reload button and the next will be also reload button, and this will be also reload button, and here I'm just going to change my text with reload, and here I have to pass self.browser.reload. So we have to pass our reload method here. So this is our reload button is also configured successfully. Now we need to make our home button. So for making home button the process are same, but home button did not provide us like this self.browser.reload or self.browser.home. Like home button will be not provide this. We need to make our custom URL for passing the in our home page home button. So first of all I am going to copy paste it, and I will create my home button. Need to change our button here. So this will be, I am going to change variable name. I will replace it with our home button, and here I am also going to change my button text which will be home, and here I need to pass my URL because we don't have any built-in or predefined function for self.browser.home. So here I will pass my browser URL. So I will not pass directly. For this I will use some else method, but still for this I am just going to pass it here, and after some time we will pass our proper home page URL here, but still it will be like this. After that we need to set our URL bar, and so for setting our URL bar I am also going to use the same self. We will use self.url_bar which will be equal to our line edit. So I already import qline edit, we will going to use this. So here self.url bar will be equal to qline edit, and this will be for our URL bar where user will type any data, and we will redirect him on that page. So first of all we will set up our URL bar. Now we need to connect it, and for connection we also have to use self.url bar dot we need to pass. So first of all I am going to use return pressed method dot return pressed dot connect, and when it will be connect we will pass the URL. Here we also pass the URL or text which user will be write in our search bar, like in browser URL bar, or you can say address bar. So the text that user will be type, we have to pass it here. So for this we also need to make an navigation URL, but we are not still going to pass it directly. So for that I am just going to pass it, and after some time we will definitely make our URL here. So this will be our for our URL, and after that we need to add this widget into our navbar. So for adding this widget I will use navbar dot add widget. So we will use navbar dot add widget, and here I will pass self dot URL bar. So just pass it self dot URL bar, and this URL bar will also be added into our navbar. So I think this is the basic setup which we will do. First of all we set up for our browser. After that we create a navbar, and after that we added some button into our navbar, which will be back button, forward button, reload button, home button, and this is the main our address bar. So after that we need to connect our browser when the URL will be changed and other stuff like happen. So for this we have to simply pass self dot browser dot the method we have to use is URL changed. So the URL changed, and we also need to connect it. So for this I will use URL change dot connect, and here we need to pass our operated URL. So for passing our operating URL, we also need to make a function for it and pass our operated URL. So for this I am also going to pass simply here. So this is the our main window setup, which will be almost done. Here first of all we set up our main browser, we set up our navbar, we set up our buttons, all this stuff happen, but still only three things are remaining. First we have to pass our home page link, second we need to pass our URL status bar address bar link, after that we need to pass our changed URL. So for this we have to create them here. So here I am going to create some functions. So after this def because we need to after this, because this is another function, like this is separate function, and now we have to create one more separate function. So just come back from indenting, and here I am going to create a new function which will be for our home page. So first of all I will pass my home URL. So for this I am going to create a function by the name of navigate underscore home. So this when user click on this home button, user will automatically redirect on our home page. So for this I create this function by the name of navigate home, and here first of all I will pass self, and after that we need to set up our URL. So for setting up URL there are some simple steps. First is simply we have to pass self dot browser dot set URL. So first of all we need to set our URL, and when we have to set the URL we need to use QURL in PyQt. So here I will use QURL and in this QURL we have to pass our home page URL. Like when you click on the button it will be redirect on home page. So for home page URL we need to pass this same link here. Like when our browser will be open, it will automatically redirect us on this page, which will be our Google page, like main Google screen page. And when user click on this home button, then our user will also redirect on the same home page. So for this we need to pass this URL here. So I'm just going to copy this URL and paste this URL here. So this will be a function for our home page, and now we need to pass this here. So here where we triggered our home button, here instead of this pass I'm going to pass our navigation home function. So for passing this we just simply need is self dot, and we just need to call this, which will be navigate home. So I'm just going to copy my function name and pass it here, self dot navigate home. So our home page action is done. After that we need to add actions for our URL bar and for our URL changed text. So this is basically our navigate URL and this will be our update URL. These are the two things remaining. So I need to create one more function for my navigate URL. So here I will create a new function by the name of navigate to underscore URL. This is our new function for navigating. Here we also need to pass our self parameter here, and after that we need to set our navigation URL. So for this I'm going to create a new variable by the name of URL, and here I will pass self dot URL bar dot text. So this will be our text, and after that we need to set this URL with the help of QURL. So for this I'm just going to use self dot browser dot set URL. So basically our set URL will be our Q URL. So we have to pass this Q URL here, and in Q URL we just need to pass our this URL variable. So this will be our navigating URL function. So this function is also created, and now we need to pass it here in our URL bar, which will be basically our address bar, where we will write our link, or we will write any text. So in this, instead of this pass, we need to call this function here. So for this I am also going to use self dot navigate to URL. So I am just going to copy my function name and paste it here. So our navigate to URL function is also created. Now we need to update URL in our URL bar. Like for example, this will be our URL bar, and user will be type YouTube. So when user hit enter, it will be redirect on YouTube page, and in URL bar, like in our address bar, we also need to update text. Like now we are in URL YouTube page, so we need to change our link in our title bar as well also. So for doing this changing, we need to pass a update URL. So for updating our URL, I am also going to create a one new function by the name of update URL, update underscore URL, and here first of all I will pass my self, and after that we will also pass our query here. So for passing query parameter, I am just going to simply use Q, because Q is represent for query, so I am just going to use Q. And here we want to update our text, so for this we will use set text method. So for this, first of all I will use self dot URL bar, and here we need to set our text. So for this I will use set text method, and in set text method we will pass our query. So we will simply pass our query, which will be available in this Q variable. So that is done, but I know user can type number in our title bar, like this. In address bar, user can type numbers, user can type alphabets, user can add special sign. So for making sure everything will be string, I am going to convert this query into string. So for converting this query into string, here I will pass q dot toString method. So this toString method will be help to convert our query into an string. So here I will pass q dot to string string. So make sure your spellings are correct. So now here in this pass, I am just going to remove it, and instead of this we will pass self dot update URL. So this will be done. Now our URL configurations are done for our home page, for our title bar, for our updating URL. We also set up our app here, and we also write the logic for our main window, where we will first of all we will make a web engine view, and after that we set a nav bar, and after that we add some button in our nav bar and a address bar. So I think it's done, and our personal browser is ready. Now let's test this. For testing this, in our terminal I am going to type python main.py and hit enter. So if our browser will be work, you can see it open a new window and our browser is also working. So if I minimize it, you can see this is our browser, and by default it is redirecting us onto home page, will be our Google page. So I can maximize it, minimize it, change its size, like everything I can do here. So you can see this is our main title, browser pipeline webhook, and here we pass the same thing, browser pipeline webhook. So this same text is appearing here. So it's mean this is our custom browser with Google search engine. So like if I search anything in this search bar, for example if I search webhook, hit enter, you can see it automatically search webhook. This is my GitHub link, and this is our YouTube channel. So make sure and you don't need to worry, I will upload this full code on my GitHub link. So in description you will get my GitHub link, simply click it and you can download this fully source code, so you don't need to worry. So if I open my channel, and it's also working. So you can see this is our browser, and it automatically converted our language into Urdu, and these are our buttons which are also working. Like if I click on this reload button, it will be reload our window. You can see it reload YouTube, and our URL bar will be same. And if I click on this back button, it will be take us back on this page. And if I click on this forward button, it will be take us on the forward. And if I click on this home button, it will be take us on our home page. So that's it. You can also pass your custom values here, like if I close my browser here, so my browser is closed, you can see terminal is also closed. And here I will pass in home page, I will add one more button by the name of webcook. So I'm just going to copy paste it, and here instead of this home button, first of all there is indentation problem, we need to fix it. Okay, so this is home button. I will add one more button, will be webcook btn. So I'm just going to copy paste this like here and here. Here we need to pass webcook, and here I am going to use self.navigate home, and here I will pass navigate webcook. So still we did not create any function by the name of navigate webcook, but I will create here. So I'm just going to copy this same function and paste it here. So its name will be navigate underscore webcook, and here I will pass my link https youtube.com/@webcook. So this will be my channel URL. So this will be my YouTube link. Now if I restart my browser, so for this I again run my command python main.py. So you can see one more button by the name of webcook is added, and if I click on this button, it will be redirect us on to my YouTube channel, because we make this button functionality according to this button, our YouTube channel. So it is redirecting us onto my YouTube channel. So that's it for today video. I hope you guys like enjoy this video, and make sure to subscribe my channel, and thank you for watching. Okay, goodbye, Allah Hafiz.